Hi guys, here are some sample test questions for the Utah drivers written test, and this is taken straight out of the latest Utah driver handbook. This is concentrating on section 8. This is brought to you by Advocates for Refugees here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We help the refugees. I'll put a link to the advocatesforrefugees.org in the notes. So what this does is we're going to ask a question, and then the next page we'll answer the question. Try to think of the answer quickly, and we'll see if we can get through these. There are maybe 150 questions almost. So we're starting talking about turning and turnabouts. Question 1. What are the key steps you should follow when turning? Answer. When turning, search for traffic, controls, and obstacles, signal your intentions, maintain proper lane position, look through the turn, accelerate smoothly, and check traffic to the rear. Question 2. What is important to remember about turns? Answer. Avoid swinging wide to the left and always turn right from the rightmost position of your lane. Question 3. How should you approach left turns? Answer. Yield to oncoming traffic and always turn left from the leftmost portion of your lane. Number 4 question. What should you do when making turns in multiple lanes? So here's multiple lanes. Answer. Identify and enter the correct lane for your turn and stay in that lane until the turn is completed. There's 2 lanes turning left. This rightmost lane needs to turn into the rightmost lane to the left. Just stay in your lane. If you get out of your lane, then the other person can accidentally hit you. Question number 5. How do you perform a forward 2-point turnabout? How do you perform a forward 2-point turnabout? This is when you're going down the street. Here's there's actually one car. There's only one car. These are the different steps. Step 1, you want to turn into this lane, this driveway or whatever it is. Then you back up. In step 3, you backed up, and then you step 4, you've gone forward. So let's read what it says. Answer. Check mirrors and signal intentions. So when you're taking your driver's test, you're going to have to actually do all this. You check your mirrors and signal your intention, and move to the center of the. Another thing that this doesn't mention is you need to do a head checks. Always do a head checks. They're going to fail you if you don't do the head checks. So signal your intention means turn on your signal. If you're moving to the center of the road, put on your signal. Anyway, so check your mirrors and do a head check and signal your intention and move close to the center of the road and turn into the driveway or alley. Stop, check for traffic, signal a right turn, and do a head check, reverse, straighten the wheels, shift to drive, because before you were in reverse, now you need to shift into drive, cancel the signal, and move forward. Okay? Just remember the head checks. I don't know why they didn't put that in here. Now we're talking about a 3-point turnabout. Question: when should a 3-point turnabout be used? And by the way, this is a 3-point turnabout. This is when there's no room. There's like only a 2-lane highway. one going in one direction and one going in another. When I say highway, it's a road, not a highway, a road. And you want to start going into the other direction. And this just shows you each step. Step one, you pull over to the right side of the road. Uh, you're signaling. Just assume you're signaling your intentions between each of these steps. Not only signaling, checking your mirrors, checking your blind spot. Yeah, and anyway, you pull over. You try to get over to the rightmost part of the road so that you have enough room to turn around. You come up here in step 3, and then in step 4 you're backing up, doing all the head checks and signaling the whole time, and then in the 5th step you've turned and are going in the opposite direction from when you started. So here's the explanation. Answer: a 3-point turnabout should be used when the road or street is too narrow to make a U-turn, and driving around the block is not practical or possible. This type of turn should only be used on a 2-lane roadway. So let's go back. The question, this says, when should a 3-point turnabout be used? That's when. Next question. What is the first step in performing a 3-point turnabout? Answer: the first step is to check the mirrors and activate your right turn signal to indicate your intention to pull off to the right side of the road. And by the way, signal, do a head check. It's checking the mirrors. Whenever you check the mirrors, do the head check, okay? It takes you to pull off to the right side of the road, then stop on the right side of the road. That's the first step. The second step, what should you do after stopping on the right side of the road during a 3-point turnabout? Answer: activate your left turn signal, do a head check, check your blind spot, check traffic, and check your blind spot. Okay, here's finally saying check your blind spot. By looking over your left shoulder. When traffic is clear, turn a hard left to the other side of the road and stop. Question: what is the next step after reaching the other side of the road in a 3-point turnabout? Answer: place the vehicle in reverse, check traffic, and check blind spots on both sides by looking over your shoulders. When traffic is clear, turn hard right to the other side of the road and stop. Question: how do you complete a 3-point turnabout? Answer: place the vehicle in drive, activate the left turn signal, check traffic and blind spots. When traffic is clear, turn hard left and drive forward into the right lane, heading in the new direction. Ensure to check traffic and cancel your turn signal before continuing straight. You can go back and reread all that if you want. Okay, next question. Now we're talking about intersections. What should you reduce and search for at all intersections? What should you reduce? I'm thinking speed, right? When you get to an intersection, you reduce your speed and search for at all intersections. Answer: at all intersections, reduce your speed and search for traffic control devices, oncoming and cross traffic, pedestrians and bicyclists, roadway conditions, and areas of limited visibility. So your eyes are looking all over you. You're looking up looking in the corners to see if there's traffic lights. You're looking to see where all the pedestrians are. Make sure you know where those pedestrians are. You're looking up the street. You're looking down the street. You want to see if there's anybody coming, because people are not going to stop even if they have a red light. Some people are going to go through the red light and try to kill you. I'm just telling you, this happens. People that don't look up the road and down the road are going to get killed, possibly. So don't be afraid to just be looking everywhere. Question: why should you not rely solely on other road users obeying traffic control signals or signs. I just talked about this. Answer: you should not rely on other road users to obey traffic control signals or signs because some may not yield the right of way, and you must be prepared to avoid a crash. People, they might be on drugs, they might be on their cell phones, they might be in a hurry and think they can beat the light. So just assume they're not going to stop, and you just be really careful. Okay, question: what should you do before moving after stopping at an intersection? Answer: before moving after stopping at an intersection, take extra time to check for crossing traffic and bicyclists. Look left, right, and left again before entering the intersection. You need to really do this. You don't want to be somebody that has injured someone or even killed somebody, and that would ruin the rest of your life. It ruined their life. Just look for those people. How do we get back up here? Okay, you look for everything. Look for all of the pedestrians and bicyclists. What precaution should you take when the light turns green at a traffic signal? So you're waiting at the intersection, the light turns green. What do you need to do? Do you just go through? No, you need to look everywhere to make sure that you're safe. Here's the answer. When the light turns green in a traffic signal, avoid immediately moving into the intersection. Don't do that. You take the time to ensure your path of travel is clear, that there is no crossing traffic, and you have a large enough gap to get across the roadway safely. So say you're driving down the road and you look ahead and, oh, the light turns green. I can just sail through. No, you need to really slow down and look to make sure that that the road is clear, because sometimes people haven't finished going through the intersection from the other direction, the cross direction. You need to slow down. You can't just go sailing through the same speed. You need to slow down. There was somebody in my neighborhood early in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. They were going down 7th East here in Salt Lake City, and they had a green light. They just go sailing through that green light. What they didn't know is there was a garbage truck that ran the red light and hit them and killed the one person in the family, killed the wife, and then the husband died a few months later. So you need to make sure there is nobody coming in the on the cross direction. So be careful. Question: what is important to remember about turning into a lane when you see an approaching vehicle with an active turn signal? Gosh, okay, what is important to remember about turning into a lane when you see an approaching vehicle with an active turn signal? Answer: never assume another driver will share space with your vehicle or provide additional space. Do not turn into a lane just because an approaching vehicle has an active turn signal. So I think they're saying if you think that they're going to be turning because they've got a turn signal, no. There's so many people that are driving down the road, don't realize they've got their turn signal on. You can't be turning in front of them thinking that they're going to be turning too. So don't do that. Don't turn into a lane just because an approaching vehicle has an active turn signal. as a driver might plan to turn after passing your vehicle or may have forgotten to turn the signal off. Yeah, be very careful. Just make sure that person is going to be out of your way before you turn. Okay, what is necessary for safety? What is necessary for safely turning into the appropriate lane at an intersection? Answer, you need enough space to turn into the appropriate lane and get up to speed when crossing an intersection. Let me just go back up again. What is necessary for safely turning into an appropriate lane at an intersection? You need enough space to turn into the appropriate lane and get up to speed when crossing an intersection. Also, when turning, you gotta look to see there's no pedestrians that are walking across. Gotta look to make sure there's enough room for you. Can you turn right on a red light? Yes, after stopping and yielding to oncoming traffic unless signs say otherwise. You can turn right. You have to stop after stopping and yielding to oncoming traffic. So yielding means you have to let them go first. So now we're going to talk about continuous flow intersection left turn. So can you see this? There's 2 steps. If you're going to turn left at one of these interesting different intersections, you're actually getting ready to turn left way before the intersection comes up. So first you look for the first signal. There's a signal. You've got to be over on the left, on the left part of your lane. Wait for that to turn green. You proceed up here, and usually by the time you get here, that light will turn green too. But if it doesn't, you have to wait. So the second is proceed to the second signal. There's 2 signals. When that signal turns green, then you can cross over and turn left. So the question is, what should you observe when making a left turn at a continuous flow intersection? Okay, the answer is when making a left turn at a continuous flow intersection, observe signs and signals directing you to turn on the left-hand side of the roadway. Then proceed when the first traffic signal is green by crossing the oncoming traffic. Now, that's the first part. What should you observe when making a left turn at a continuous flow intersection? That's the answer. What do you need to do after crossing the oncoming lanes of traffic at a left turn at a continuous flow intersection? In other words, let's get back. Okay. What do you do when you get up here? Okay. Answer, after crossing the oncoming lanes, observe the direction of the second signal, which will be on the far left of the intersection, and proceed when green by making your left-hand turn at the intersection. The next question, how should you proceed when traveling through a continuous flow intersection? Answer, when traveling through a continuous flow intersection, proceed as usual, but watch for another light just past the intersection. Be prepared for a red light that allows left-turning vehicles to cross in front of you. So I guess we just talked about that. Sorry. Question, what is the purpose of the second signal in a continuous flow intersection? Answer, the second signal in a continuous flow intersection located on the far left directs when to safely make the left-hand turn after crossing the oncoming lanes of traffic. Are we starting to understand this yet? Sorry for so many redundant questions. Next question. What is a key difference in navigating a continuous flow intersection compared to a regular intersection? Answer: a key difference in a continuous flow intersection is the possibility of encountering a red light just past the intersection, which is meant for managing left turning traffic. Now we're talking about roundabouts and traffic circles. And don't think we're going to not be talking about continuous flow intersections later on, because there's the right turn, but we'll worry about that. Okay, roundabouts and traffic circles. Question: what direction do vehicles travel in a roundabout or traffic circle? We're going counterclockwise, that way. Counterclockwise. Not clockwise, counterclockwise, okay? All right. Answer: vehicles travel counterclockwise around a raised center island in a roundabout or traffic circle. Question: what should you do when approaching a roundabout or traffic circle? Answer: when approaching a roundabout or traffic circle, slow down and yield to the traffic already in the roundabout or circle. Yield, of course, means let other people go first. It doesn't mean you really have to stop, but if you need to stop, you do stop. But you need to let other people, make sure other people can go before you go. Question: what is the rule for entering traffic in a roundabout or traffic circle? Answer: people who enter a roundabout or traffic circle must yield the right of way to circulating traffic. Question: how do you exit a roundabout or traffic circle? To exit a roundabout or traffic circle, proceed to the appropriate exit, signal your intent, and then exit. In other words, turn on your signal, exit. What sign indicates the presence of a roundabout or traffic circle? A sign indicating a roundabout or traffic circle typically warns drivers to slow down and prepare to enter the circular intersection. Okay, we're talking about changing lanes now. What should you check before changing lanes? Answer: your mirrors and your blind spots. Question: should you speed up or slow down frequently when changing lanes? Answer: no, you shouldn't speed up or slow down frequently. Entering a multi-lane highway. What should you use to reach the speed of other vehicles before pulling onto the highway? Answer: the acceleration lane. It'd be nice if I had a picture of that, but I don't. Okay, talking about exiting a roadway. What should you do before exiting the roadway? Answer: plan to move to the lane closest to your exit point early and signal your intention. Don't wait till the last minute to move to the lane closest to your exit point, okay? Because that, and when you do move to the lane closest to your exit point, you check your blind spot, because you don't want to be hitting somebody. Really check that blind spot in your mirrors. Okay, freeway driving. Is it legal to make a U-turn on the freeway? No. Should you drive in the emergency lane? No. Okay, passing. When can you pass another vehicle? Answer: when it's safe and you've checked for oncoming traffic. What should you do when being passed? Answer: stay in your lane and maintain a constant speed. If someone's trying to pass you, don't speed up. It's what so many people do. I don't want somebody to cut me off. Or they're not cutting you off. You can see that they're that they're passing you up. You know that they're trying to be trying to get ahead of you. It's okay. I would actually slow down a little bit so that they can pass you. Okay, U-turns. Where should you not make a U-turn? Answer: on a curve. Don't make a U-turn on a curve. near the top of a hill. You know, so you're in a curve, you know, you're curving somewhere. That's not where to make a U-turn because people can't see you. So don't do it on a curve where the road's curving, near the top of a hill, or where you cannot be seen from both directions for 500 feet. That's going to be on the test. 500 feet. Probably, well, all of this is could be on the test. Can you make a U-turn on a railroad track? No. Things to avoid while driving on the highway. Question, what is the purpose of the left lane on a multi-lane highway, and what can happen if you impede traffic in this lane? Answer, the left lane on a multi-lane highway is intended to be a passing lane. You can be issued a citation for impeding traffic if you do not change lanes to allow following vehicle to pass. Even if they're speeding, say you're going the speed limit and they come up behind you, you need to move over and let them speed past you. Let them get the ticket. Question, how should you manage your following distance on the freeway? Answer, you must maintain a proper following distance, allowing at least 2 seconds of space behind the vehicle ahead of you. This time should be increased under adverse conditions. Question, is it legal to make U-turns on the freeway? No. It is illegal. It is not legal. Illegal to make U-turns on the freeway. Question, what is the emergency lane on the freeway used for? The emergency lane on the freeway outside of the solid white line is for emergency use only. Passing another vehicle or stopping to pick up passengers in this lane is illegal. So, you know, if your car breaks down, that's where to park your car. If it's a police officer is stopping you, that's where to park your car. What should you do if your driving speed is significantly slower than the traffic around you on the freeway? This is tricky. You're trying to pass the test. Some people, they just try to stay the same speed as everyone else, even though everyone else is speeding. But we're trying to pass a test. So the answer, if your driving speed is so slow that vehicles are piling up behind you, it is unsafe and illegal. You should drive at a speed similar to that of other vehicles without exceeding the posted speed limit. So there's the answer to that question. Question, is it permissible to use an entrance ramp to exit the freeway? No. Using an entrance ramp to exit the freeway is illegal and can cause traffic jams. When is it appropriate to change lanes on the freeway? Change lanes on the freeway only to exit the freeway, or enter the correct lane for an upcoming route separation. Change lanes on the freeway only to exit the freeway, or enter the correct lane for an upcoming route separation. Try to do that early. Don't wait too long to change lanes. You don't want to be changing a whole bunch of lanes in a short amount of time. What should you do when a snowplow displays flashing yellow lights? Okay, we're not talking about the freeway anymore. We're just talking about random questions, I think. Answer, do not pass or overtake the snowplow on the side where the plow blade is deployed. What should you do if you are involved in a crash? Answer, make a complete stop and meet all legal requirements before leaving the scene. Okay, what should you do before entering a perpendicular or angle parking space? Answer. Identify the space in which you will park and check traffic. So you find out, where do I want to park? Then you look for traffic. Then you turn on your you signal your intentions. You open up your signal, whatever. Move forward slowly, turning the steering wheel left or right as appropriate until the vehicle reaches the middle of the space. Me, when I do it, I can't tell if it's reached the middle of the space. I can only tell after I parked and I look and I think, oh, it's not the middle, and then I have to back up and do it again. But anyway, center the vehicle in the space. That's just what I said. You center it, even after you thought you had it centered, make sure it's centered. Anyway, move to the front of the parking space, stop and secure the vehicle. Question, what are the initial steps for initiating parallel parking? Well, answer, to initiate parallel parking, find a parking space, check traffic, signal, and perform a head check, then pull up parallel to the vehicle you are parking behind. Question 2, what should you do after aligning your vehicle with the one you are parking behind for parallel parking? Answer, after aligning with the vehicle, check for clear traffic, shift to reverse, and look to the rear. Back slowly while turning the steering wheel quickly until your front bumper is in line with the rear bumper of the vehicle you are parking behind. Question 3, how do you correctly position your vehicle in a parallel parking space? Answer, continue backing slowly while turning the steering wheel rapidly. Center your vehicle in the space, stop before touching the vehicle's bumper behind you. Shift to drive and adjust your position. Your vehicle should be no more than 12 inches from the curb. Question, what is the process for exiting a parallel parking space? Hopefully you've left enough space for you to exit. And hopefully someone hasn't come along and parked right in front of your vehicle and someone right in behind, so that you do still have space to exit. If not, good luck. Answer, to exit, check traffic, apply the brake and shift to reverse. Back up close to the vehicle parked behind you. Check for traffic, signal, and shift to drive. Move forward slowly, steer out into the lane, and ensure the front bumper clears the vehicle parked ahead. If necessary, shift to reverse to adjust, then move into the traffic lane when your door post clears the rear bumper of the vehicle parked ahead. Good luck. Question, how close should your vehicle be to the curb when parallel parking? Did we say 12 inches? Like 1 foot? Yes. When parallel parked, your vehicle should be no more than 12 inches from the curb. If it's more than 12 inches, somebody could come along and sideswipe your car. That happened to me. Even though I wasn't more than 12 inches, they still sideswiped my car. Okay, what should you do when passing a bicyclist? Answer, slow down and allow as much space as possible, and consider the bicyclist's speed when you pass. Put as much space between you and the bicyclist, and consider the bicyclist's speed when you pass. Okay, question. What is a single point urban exchange? See that picture? A single point urban interchange. Is that what I said? Yeah, urban interchange, not exchange, interchange. A single point urban interchange is a type of freeway interchange where the intersecting off-ramps and on-ramps are diagonally adjacent to each other located either above or underneath the freeway. Question: how are drivers guided into the proper lanes at a single point urban interchange? Answer: dash lines are added to single point urban interchanges to guide drivers into the proper lanes. Additionally, there are wrong way signs on the off-ramps and on-ramps to help drivers avoid entering a ramp against the traffic. Question: is it legal to make a U-turn at a single point urban interchange? Answer: yes, it is legal to make a U-turn from the off-ramp at a single point urban interchange and re-enter the freeway as long as you are facing a green arrow when beginning the maneuver. Okay, question: what should you expect when re-entering the freeway on the on-ramp at a single point urban interchange? Answer: when re-entering the freeway on the on-ramp at a single point urban interchange, you will face a red arrow intended for the traffic adjacent to the light. Question: what should you do if you initiate a maneuver at a single point urban interchange? Answer: do not stop your vehicle in the middle of the intersection. Complete the maneuver once initiated. Question: how should a single point urban interchange be handled during a power outage? Answer: if a power outage occurs, proceed with extreme caution and courtesy at a single point urban interchange. Most will be supported by battery backup, but if not, an officer will be dispatched for traffic control. What should you do when exiting a roadway? Answer: it is important to know where you are exiting the roadway. Plan to move to the lane closest to your existing point early to avoid a quick lane change. Maintain your vehicle speed as long as you are on the main roadway. Signal your intention. Move to the deceleration lane and slow down your existing speed. Check the posted speed for the deceleration lane. Question: what should you do if you see a meter on sign at the entrance to a freeway on-ramp? Answer: ramp metering is in effect. Follow the red and green lights. What should you do when you are driving in a roundabout and want to exit? Answer: proceed to the appropriate exit, signal your intent, and exit. Question: where is it illegal to park? Answer: it is illegal to park on a sidewalk, in front of driveways, in intersections, near fire hydrants, on crosswalks, near traffic signs, in pedestrian areas, on railroad tracks, near fire stations, alongside street obstructions, on the roadway side of parked vehicles. In other words, no double parking. On bridges or elevated structures, in tunnels, in areas with no stopping signs, on interstate highway shoulders, and on red painted curbs. Did you get that? Question: how far must you park from a fire hydrant? Answer: you must park at least 15 feet away from a fire hydrant. Question: what is the minimum distance required to park from a crosswalk? Answer: you must park at least 20 feet away from a crosswalk. Question: is it legal to park on the shoulder of an interstate highway? No, it is illegal to park on the shoulder of an interstate highway unless your vehicle breaks down or you are in physical distress. Question: how close to a curb should you park your vehicle when parking along the road? See, what was it, 12 inches or less? Answer: when parking along the road, park your vehicle as close to the curb as possible. Question, can you park in an area that is posted for pedestrian use? Answered, no, you cannot park in an area posted for pedestrian use or within 30 feet of the edges of that area. Question, what is the parking restriction near a railroad track? Answer, you cannot park on any railroad track or within 50 feet of the nearest rail of a railroad crossing. Question, are there any restrictions for parking near a fire station? Answer, yes, you cannot park within 20 feet of the driveway entrance to any fire station, and if signs are posted, not within 75 feet on the opposite side of the road. Parking on a hill. Question, when parking uphill beside a curb, which way should you turn your front wheels? Answer, when parking uphill beside a curb, turn your front wheels away from the curb and let your vehicle roll back so the front tire touches the curb. So turn your front wheels away. So turn your wheel counterclockwise so they're away from the curb, and then kind of roll back so the front tire touches the curb. Question, what steps should you follow before leaving your vehicle after parking? Answer, before leaving your parked vehicle, set the emergency brake, stop the motor, and lock the doors. Question, how far should your vehicle be from the curb if parking next to it? The back wheel of your vehicle must be no further than 12 inches away from the curb when parked next to it. I'm just thinking, I guess on the front, if you're on a hill, then the front tire needs to be right next to the curb. The back wheel of your vehicle must be no further than 12 inches away from the curb when parked next to it. Question, what should you do if your parking would block the flow of traffic? Answer, if your parking would block the flow of traffic, you should find another place to park. Question, how far must your vehicle be visible from when parked outside a business or residential area? How far must your vehicle be visible from when parked outside a business or residential area? Answer, if parked outside of a business or residential area, your vehicle must be visible from 200 feet in each direction. Question, why is it important not to park too close to another vehicle? Answer, it is important not to park too close to another vehicle to avoid causing damage. Question, when parking downhill without a curb, which way should you turn your tires? When parking downhill without a curb. So I'm just using my logic. If your car starts rolling, you want it to roll to the right and not out into the street. So I'm saying, well, let's just see what it says. When parking downhill without a curb, turn your wheels to the right. Yeah, turn you to the right so it starts rolling into somebody's house or whatever, which is probably not good, but they just don't want you rolling the car out into the street where cars are whizzing by. Question, when must you make a complete stop? This is about stopping. So there's a lot of times when you must make a complete stop. Answer, you must make a complete stop at steady or flashing red lights, at all stop signs, at railroad crossings with signals or gates. You know, if there's no signals or gates on a railroad crossing, if there's a sign saying, railroad crossing, I would look both ways before you go across, because people get hit by trains. Anyway, Also at crash scenes you're involved in, if you're in a crash, you need to stop. You can't run, because then you get in trouble. Okay, stop when requested by police or other officers, and when coming into a street from an alley, driveway, road, or building. There may not be a stop sign, but if you're driving out into a street from an alley or side road or whatever, or building, you need to stop and look to see if the way is clear. Question: what is the required stopping distance at railroad crossings? You must stop more than 15 feet, but not more than 50 feet away from the nearest railroad crossings until it is safe to continue. Question: what should you do at a steady red light? What should you do when you come up to a steady red light? At a steady red light, you must make a complete stop. What are your obligations if you are involved in a crash? If you're involved in a crash, you must make a complete stop and meet all legal requirements before leaving the scene. Is a rolling stop considered adequate at stop signs? No, a rolling stop is not adequate. You must make a complete stop at all stop signs. What should you do when a police or other officer requests you to stop? You must make a complete stop when a police or other officer requests you to. What action is required when coming onto a street from an alley, private driveway, private road, or building? We went over that. You stop. You come to a complete stop before you go out into the street or alley. If you go out onto a street from an alley, private driveway, you must make a complete stop before the sidewalk area or street when coming onto a street from an alley, private driveway, or a private road or a building. Question: here's some fun stuff. Here's some fun intersections. What is a diverging diamond intersection? Here's a picture. A diverging diamond intersection is a type of highway interchange where the traffic on the non-freeway road crosses to the opposite side of the bridge over or under the freeway. What does a diverging diamond intersection require from traffic on the freeway, overpass, or underpass? Answer: at a diverging diamond intersection, traffic on the freeway, overpass, or underpass is required to briefly drive on the opposite side of the road from what they are accustomed to. Question: what is the main benefit of a diverging diamond intersection? Answer: the main benefit of a diverging diamond intersection is the elimination of many left turn conflicts at the ramps, which improves interchange efficiency. What is the purpose of a through turn intersection? It's like a third U-turn intersection. See how they're driving here, and they do a U-turn and then come. It's a glorified way of making a left turn, but let's read it. Answer: a through U-turn intersection is designed to alleviate traffic congestion and improve traffic flow by eliminating left turn movements at the intersection. How do drivers make a left turn at a through turn intersection? Answer: at a through turn intersection, instead of making a left turn, drivers travel through the intersection, making a signalized U-turn at the location away from the intersection and return to make a right turn. Question: what is the main benefit of using a through U-turn intersection? We just said it. The main benefit of the through U-turn intersection is to improve traffic traffic flow and reduce congestion by redirecting left turn movements. What distinguishes a four-legged continuous flow intersection from a regular continuous flow intersection? So here's a continuous flow, a four-legged continuous flow. Really interesting. Oh my gosh. A four-legged continuous flow intersection functions similarly to a regular continuous flow intersection, but with each leg of the intersection operating with displaced left turns instead of only two legs. How should you navigate a four-legged continuous flow intersection? Answer: when navigating a four-legged continuous flow intersection, follow all directions as with a typical continuous flow intersection on all four legs. Question: what is the main feature of a four-legged continuous flow intersection? The main feature of a four-legged continuous flow intersection is that all four legs of the intersection have displaced left turns for better traffic flow. Are we done? We are done. Okay. Good luck. Good luck with your test. Try to read that book. Just read the book. If you can't read the book, listen to it being read to you. You can listen to the test when you're taking the driver's test, the driver's written test. Ask for earplugs, they'll give them to you for free, and you can listen to it. What else? Keep going over these questions until you get them right. Just read the book, or have someone read it to you. Did I say that? Good luck. God bless you.